Right now into our WDSU first warning weather, where it's a weather alert day. Got some strong storms just starting to move into New Orleans right now, but there are no alerts for this particular storm. Got a very strong one moving into Lafitte, but our first tornado warning is up. This is well north of us, but just outside of our official viewing area. That is going to be closing in near Hattiesburg. Everybody in the yellow under the tornado watch until 9. But stay with me here because I'm going to show you here just so I won't get in the way. We'll take off the lightning, get up to now, and we're going to show you this tornado warned storm that is getting north of us in Hattiesburg. So as I get the latest imagery that's there, the tornado warning that's here when I put the alert back on is going to be for areas of Mississippi. And when you look at Jackson Doppler radar, it really showed that there was some spin coming in and that could be producing a tornado. I'm going to show you exactly where, and it's headed northeast, and that could be affecting near the city of Hattiesburg in just a little while. So that is the first major storm that is producing some nasty weather and the potential that that's producing a tornado. Dual polarization radar would show better if there would be any debris lofted into the air. But as I'm going to get back and take a look at our own WDSU first warning weather Doppler radar, put the lightning back on, which has been very impressive out of some of these storms, the alerts there too. We'll get into New Orleans and the stronger storm that's just south of us here right now. Flash flood warnings and alerts, I should note, that are up into Mississippi, not here just yet, but right now we've got ordinary thunderstorms is the way I would word this. Just a lot of heavy rain, frequent lightning strikes near Harahan once again. Metairie, heavy rain coming down as you head to Gentilly. How about as we close in more parts of the city, and it looks to be the East Bank is getting the worst of it right now from the lower 9th. Fairgrounds, Mid-City. You head to Bucktown, and as you head a little bit farther west from Kenner, it starts to let up a bit, but we still see more storm activity southwest of here. Let's discuss the storm that is over cutoff right now, and this one's showing some signs that it might be trying to have a little hook into it. Usually that indicates in our reflectivity data that there could be some spin in the atmosphere. Northeastward movement out of some of these storms have been on the order of 40 to 50 miles per hour. The worst part of that right now looks to be just outside of Larose. Looks to be in a pretty rural and marshy area at that time. But if it keeps its course, we could be looking at Jean Lafitte to Lafitte, that storm eventually moves to where you are. Let's put a storm track on that worst part of the storm and take it northeast here at least 35 miles per hour. So Barataria in 21 minutes, Jean Lafitte in 21 minutes at that rate of movement at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. What I'm going to do is also inspect to see what we've got in the way of any possible rotation within here. And that would be a good thing to show, and I'll take off the lightning data really quick to see if there's any indication. And right now, the winds there are moving closer to the radar and towards the radar beam. I don't see much. There is a little bit of a difference in wind speed, but the good news out of that is I don't see anything right now really indicative that this could be a storm that's really trying to spin up. More heavy rain as we head down along the coast here too. We can expect these storms as we head through this evening. Very quickly, I want to give you some sort of a semblance of a forecast beyond just the radar tour. Cold front has actually just passed through Macomb, Mississippi. Still have a chance of these storms through this evening. In this particular storm in the forecast data, other indications that could be topping into some spin. So we still need to be on alert for the potential of strong spinning storms all the way through this evening, which is why the watch is until 9 o'clock tonight. The North Shore is still under the greatest risk for strong and severe storms, but the heavy rain threat now is starting to increase as well, so that's why still levels 1 and 2 for heavy rain is in the mix. So flooding rain now for the North Shore is topping my list for severe weather, but I can't stress enough the tornado risk is still there with the spin. So the tornado threat now through 9 with the watch, and the North Shore still at the greatest risk, and that heavy rain threat is really starting to increase. Real-time temperatures 70s, a lot of humidity in the atmosphere. We've got strong winds all added in to the chance that we've got that risk of severe weather coming through. Tomorrow, things get a lot better. We're going to cool down from here. We're going to bring in some cooler air, and it's just going to be temperatures into the 60s after we're done through tonight. So right into the WDSU First Warning Weather 7-day forecast. 60s for the day to last through the weekend. Next chance of rain won't arrive until the end of next week.
All right, I'm looking at that spring forward there, but we might be losing an hour.